And 3 and 2 and 1. Shalom, everybody. Got Yusapa. Gonna do an interview with Yusapa. Gonna tell you what he's got. Now, you might remember Yusuf L, or you might remember him as Yusuf L. And Yusuf L has had a name change. Yusuf, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, what's going on?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. In the background, fingers get shalom.
You're a funny man. You're a funny man.
Sometimes my wife doesn't think so.
Well, it's good to see you again, man. It's really good to see you and to be on a live broadcast with you. You know, it's really
Yeah.
good.
I don't really do live because I don't have access to equipment like you have. Here, let me pop my face on screen again. Yusuf is using his equipment. My camera is being associated to my equipment, so my face can't pop up on his screen, but both of our screens are working at the same time. But you know, just to let everybody know, blah 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 blah. So it's live video for Yusuf. For me, it's just a recording. We'll do it. We'll put up Premiere, see how it all goes. For those of you that have been part of the would you go Zion Law School before? The Ibaryath material. This is the creator and the teacher of the material. Go ahead, give an introduction of what you got.
Shalom, everybody. I am Dr. Yusapa. Formerly WeGotNext.com, but for the past 2 years, ZionLawSchool.org. I'm going to show you my website. I'm going to show you all of the amazing progress that we've made, all thanks to the Most High. We've been able to push out a great website. We have a self-study, self-paced home course. The course I initially taught, that 8-week course, is now a digital course. It's available in 113 videos. Okay. And you can access it at home. The best thing about it, oh, yeah, go ahead.
My apologies. What we are holding here, Yusuf can't, Yusapa can't see. We have the Learn Paleo Hebrew alphabet. Is this entered into what you have now?
Yeah, I'm trying to like when I see like let me show you. Can you see my cell phone?
Yeah.
That's what I see on my screen. Oh no, okay. So when I do my screen share,
yeah.
Watch what happens when I do my screen share. I was seeing a cascade of windows. Maybe.
Right. No, you can't share it with me because I can see your screen. I can see you holding your phone with your sign in the background. What I'm doing for the viewers that can see me on this end, I'm holding up the 4 books that you produced previously. The Ancient Paleo Hebrew book, the Paleo Alphabet, 3 books, and the Paleo Ibaryath.
Yes.
So, as you were just saying that you had these before, I'm just showing everybody what you had before, and now you're moving to digital. Excuse me, I turned the camera off for a second. You're moving to digital. So what I was asking is everything from these books that you produce going to be available digital for everybody? That's all.
Yes, that's what I'm working on right now. So I just completed that the 8-week course. All of that information is in 113 video course. It's an amazing course, and I'm going to show the content of the course, but I added a whole lot more to it. It's more comprehensive than the 8-week course, but I teach it so that it's easy and it's fun. It's really easy and fun. So here are the books. So couple years ago, this is what we were working with, the
That's what we
911.
we just held that up.
Yes. And since then, I've written 3 volumes on Deuteronomy chapter 28. Volume 1 is the I Can Read, this volume right here. This volume provides people with the basics that they need to understand and read. So it's really like a reading practice where you're going to learn not only the pictographs, but you'll learn how to pronounce them, and you'll learn through practice how to read the Ibaryath, which some people call it Phoenician Hebrew. You'll learn how to read the Ibaryath and then switch back to read the English and vice versa. It's really a skill. So when you come to class, or if you really want to learn our language, you really have to practice this. Okay. So volume 1, you're going to learn sight and sound recognition of the pictographs. You'll master pronunciation, and you'll get the grammar rules, the all important grammar rules. Not all, but it's a beginning, right? And this is how it looks. This is how the our Paleo script looks.
Straight out of the book.
Yeah, that's how it looks. So let me show.
Yeah, right there. That's what you should title that right there. Right there. Reclaiming our heritage.
You know what? Maybe, you know what? I might just do that, Lex. Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. Man, you're brilliant.
Some days.
You are brilliant. I always tell people you are brilliant, you know? So this is volume 1 of Deuteronomy chapter 28. This and all of these books, this provides a word for word. So every word in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 through 14, which is the blessings, every word we do an etymological examination and evaluation to extract its real or Ibaryath meaning, its Hebrew meaning. And then we compare that to the English. And it's all formatted in a very logical and easy to understand way. So I teach a class on this. This book is what we use to teach the curses course. It's the curses course textbook. Okay. So let's see. We'll start here. You will learn how to read Phoenician Hebrew, which is the original biblical Hebrew, by deconstructing and examining every Phoenician Hebrew word, phrase, and sentence in the 1611 authorized KJV, AV, and we use the standard in this book, the KJV standard. You will also learn Phoenician Hebrew words, phrases, and sentences, and how they are made and why. So it goes on. So if anybody wants to really learn what the blessings are, what our ancestors understood them to be as they were given to Moses and our people, you should really get this book, because I guarantee you what's in the English is very often different than what's in the Ibaryath. And you really, really should treat yourself to this information. So now the second volume is the same thing as this, but it's the curses. It's verse 15. So this one right here, this is verse 15 through 29. That's verse 15 through 29. And it's also a word for word examination and evaluation or investigation or breakdown, however people want to call it, into every Ibaryath word, its original or etymological meaning, the syntax, which is the sentence structure, and how that creates meaning. And this is the book we're using in our current Saturday morning class. I teach it every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. People can come for 2 free classes. Sometimes I extend it, you know, and if people don't have money, you can ask anybody. I've let them stay for some amount of time. But usually I'll let people stay for 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I've gone even further. But if you can afford to pay, then, you know, you should really enroll, so it's not heavy on me. But the whole goal is to learn. Okay. Now, if you don't want to come to this class to experience this, we have something else for you that is really basically free. For all intensive purposes, this course is let me say almost free. So this is Lex. This is our home study self-paced Ibaryath course. It's called 101 Ibaryath Rescue, 101 Ancient Ibaryath. This is the course that we used to teach in the 8-week course, okay? And so the reason why I'm saying it's almost free is that for $1, you get a 1-day trial, and you can take as many of the 113 lessons as you want to. If you can take them all, do them all. I don't know how many hours a course is total though. There's no doctrine, there's no religion in this. This is pure linguistics. That's the beauty of it. And if you want to keep it, and I'm sure everybody's going to want to keep this, not for 1 month, but for years, because this is a comprehensive, excellent course. It's only $10 per month. Where can you get something of such high quality for $10? That's basically free.
Well, the real question is, where can you get this for such a reasonable price? You know, if people want to, you know, live closer to the past, then nothing's going to get better than the language. You can look as ancient as you want. You can dress in whatever you want, but nothing's really going to matter if you can't speak the language. With the ability to speak the language, you can go and you can read exactly what's in the museum. People need to remember this. You need to treat yourself from time to time. Spoil yourself. There is nothing wrong with the idea of spoiling yourself with your history, especially with the idea that you have been oppressed. Your history has been changed. Your mind, combined with what's in these books, can assist you in the direction that you are telling yourself you want to go. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, thank you, Lex. By the way, here's an example of that. Let me go back to my YouTube channel. Here's an example of what Lex was just saying. And I hope everyone will take some time to go and review this video right here, Georgia Pugh's Meaning Revealed. This is where I use the skills that I acquired through learning the language to interpret and show beyond any question that that writing is Hebrew script. I show it, and then I also show the root word. And then I show you my lexicon that I published a few months ago, and the root word is already there. It's already there. But everybody should go watch this, because this is proof that if you start to learn, you can begin to do exactly what Lex said. You can start to read stuff, right? You can begin to read it and then uncover even more of your history. And you'll see that people like Lex and people like me, what we're giving you are powerful tools that you can use on a day-to-day basis that improve your life. It's all about reclaiming your mind, taking back your mind and returning to the Most High by following his instructions. That's what it's really all about. So, okay, so let's go back to the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course, Lex.
Okay.
So it's just $10, right? And there's no contract. People can cancel anytime. It's going to show you the ancient pictographs and the Paleo pictographs. But for the late pictographs, you have to get this one, okay? Because the video, I mean, the lessons are just way too long. And we really don't use the late too much, because that takes us to Babylonian stuff. And but yeah, that's a different story in itself. So we give you the pictographs, and with every pictograph, we give you the culture context or the cultural context. In other words, how our ancestors used the object represented by that pictograph. We give you the grammar usage of that pictograph. I do a ton of word studies, okay? A ton of Ibaryath word studies. Some people say Hebrew word studies. And then I jammed in 225 vocabulary words organized by pictograph. So there are 22 pictographs, and each pictograph has vocabulary words with them. Total, there's 225, okay? There's 220, and it's just, this is just a huge course. It's a huge course. and it's fun, straight up fun. Check it out. If I could have given the trial away for free, I would have given a free one-day trial, but the software doesn't allow.
Hey, bro,
Yeah.
do you even live in America?
No, I don't. No.
Listen, listen, man. I'm all about helping the people, dude. I have tons of recordings, fucking, here you go for free. I got tons of recording crying later. Hey guys, I need help. Listen,
Yeah.
if they're going to buy Victoria's Secrets, if they're going to buy Nikes, dude, you can't make it more affordable. Last time the book was more than that. This time it's online, they can pick and they can choose, and it's lower than that. Yeah. If you give shit away for free, take it from me, you're going to be broke. You're going to be back in America. You're going to be at home with the family. You're going to be working out of the basement. So I say to people, don't take him up on the free offer. Pay the man for the work he did. Is the workman worthy of hire for the work that he's done? Ladies and gentlemen, you have and have had the opportunity to set 15 minutes, 20 minutes aside to start to learn and study. I cannot encourage anyone more than I already have. You want a grassroots campaign to rebuild, but you don't respect grassroots. Grassroots, you have donors. Grassroots, you're a fucking politician. Excuse my language. You're a politician. You go read the history of any politician, you cannot succeed without a donor base. So the expectations that people have that this should be gifted to them, it's bullcrap. Why? Because we're going to Deuteronomy and it tells you when it was gifted to you, you resented it. You ignored it. You chased after another nation. So why should people work for you for free? You're oppressed. They're oppressed. We have to get rid of this attitude that somebody owes us something. We are Gentile now. Yes, blood of Hebrews. But this is our fault. We need to climb out of the barrel, whether the crabs are pulling us or not. So I like everybody that can hear this to think about, what have you done for your people that you always cry about? I want you to type in about how you protested, how you rallied against, how you created lawsuits. Oh, if you ain't writing none of that shit down, don't ask for a goddamn thing for free. The other nations have a problem with something, they group together and they solve that problem. They get stadiums built for rich men that could already afford it. So I myself, I'm tired of the idea of free.
I hear you.
If anything I want, I have to go outside and pay for it. I walk down the street, I can't have anything in my hands, or somebody will ask, because they're in a worse condition than all of us. All of us are online. That means that we have those bills paid so that we can use services. You walk outside, there's 1,000 people that cannot use services. So forgive me, Yusuf. The idea of our people wanting shit for free, when society designs ways to get the money, the finance from our people, which means sales pitches. Our people don't get shit for free. Obama phone wasn't even free. So do yourself a favor, viewer, who feeds the other nations no matter what the nations dangle in front of them, especially outlandish stuff. Stop asking your people for free shit. Or of course, they will always be in the condition that you are in. Because you'll pay the other nations, but you won't pay your people. And that is shameful. Forgive me, I had, this bothers me. I've had the mentality, I have to say this to you, I'm sorry. I've had the mentality that people owe me and I want free shit, and nobody owes me shit. What's been done to me was done to my ancestors. Generation before me. What I'm living now is a form of oppression because I will not unite with others and do the same things the other nations will do that are lawful, like protest, like create lawsuits and things of this nature. Go ahead, sir. I had to.
Thank you. Thank you, Lex. Thank you. I appreciate that support, man. We really do. Because this is very, very difficult and very time-consuming and expensive to put all of this stuff together. I mean, this is my life right now, you know. Okay, so let me go ahead, everyone, and just read through this, and then I'm going to show you the syllabus of the course, okay? But this course description, I think, is also important. Okay, it says 113 self-study lessons, priceless, mind-blowing, and I'm not exaggerating here, and life-changing content. Instruction is enthusiastic, powerful, content-rich, and comprehensive, packed, overloaded with pure Ibaryath. What that means is that there's no modern Hebrew. There's no religious doctrine. There's no politics or nothing like that, okay? It's just pure Ibaryath, pure our stuff, our language, our history. Okay, so this is the first and only course of its kind. Learning a language, of course, takes years of practice and effort. You will not be Ibaryath literate after completing this introductory level course. Of course, you need years of study to learn a language, right? This is an excellent start. This course was created just for you, Yasharala, not for another nation, but for us, the house of Yasharala. If this course is so amazing and priceless, why is it almost free? The answer is because we want everyone to be able to afford to learn Ibaryath or Phoenician Hebrew or Hebrew, because we must return to the Most High as a nation, not as individuals. That's coming from Deuteronomy 30, verse 1 through 3. So if you are able, please generously support this course by buying our books, enrolling in our course, donating, becoming a member of our website, and subscribing to our social media platforms. Search Zion Law School. So subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel, Zion Law School. With your generous support, we will be able to continue offering this priceless course for almost free. Without it, we cannot, because it costs money to keep it going. Thank you in advance for your generous and continuous support, Dr. Yasapa. And then these are my the ways that you can, if you want to donate, or if you want to take a course, you can send the tuition through our Cash App, $Zion Law School, or our PayPal, paypal.me/Zion Law School. So let's take a look at the, oh, Lex, there's so much information. This is what I think the market value of this course is. It's comparable to other courses. Now, this is not per month. This would be for the
people, ladies and gentlemen, please, in all these different ways to have money transactions, you have the ability to leave a message. So again, if you do happen to donate, leave a message with instruction. This is what it's dealing with, right? Because that makes it easier for the person that is receiving it so that they can understand what you want or what you need. You have the power to communicate. It goes beyond mouth at this point. It's typing now. Go ahead, brother.
Excellent, thank you. So this is the market value for me. I think this compared to other Hebrew classes, right? I think this course is $7,000 to $10,000. I'm offering it for only 10, just $10 monthly subscription. Now look at
the discount there. You go online, you look at that Haaretz school, we teach you Hebrew, right? They're going to teach you some Scathing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got, listen, I can't. When Yusafa says, hey, you want to do a video? You know, first I think, hey, what am I going to say? You know, I don't know what to say. You got anything for me to say? He says, no, you know, I'm going to tell you this. Your heart, your mind is in the book of Deuteronomy. There's no way around it. It is your connection to the Most High. This is why these other nations that promote their religion, this is why they won't go into the Old Testament pyramid, period. So I need you to think about something. Where are the blessings? Where are the curses? This is the way in. This is the way out. For the Israelite, for the Hebrew, for the Jacobite, for the Yasharon, for the future. Our future lies in our past. You know what's coming. There is no, well, let's join the military to stop what's coming. No. We're close to the end. You want to be set aside, yet you're waiting for him to pick you up, yet you know there's going to be a second Exodus. It's very confusing. How could there be a second Exodus if you're sitting there waiting for him? Your answers are in the book of Deuteronomy. Oh, the word has conflict in it. Somebody has changed the word. Well, then go back to the root. Oh, I can't eat this food. I can't eat that food. Oh, because it's poison. Then go find it in the wild and take the root. Well, what does this mean in comparison to reading a language? Well, your language in the wild is in its natural form. That would be Ibaryath. You can go and learn anybody else's Hebrew. Are they going to deal with the conflict of the words being changed? Because when you go back to Hebrew, you can't change the words. When you go back to Hebrew, you go to the museum, it matches what you studied. People, this is what people don't realize. You have English Bibles, you have Hebrew Bibles. You start to understand this, you don't have to have the English Bible. Your history is locked in your past, yet you keep walking towards your doomed future. Learn to moonwalk. Sure, that person's a pagan, but learn to walk backwards. 2 steps backwards for what? 1 step what? See? That shit was made up before I was even born. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, thanks, Lex. So let's take a look now at the syllabus. See, there's that $1 for 1-day trial. So you have, there's no risk in this, right? Okay, so part 1, we do an introduction to ancient Ibaryath or Hebrew. This is different from modern Hebrew. It is not modern Hebrew. So the first, you see, the part one has 17 video lessons. The entire course has 113 lessons, as I stated earlier. So first, we talk about the language of creation, okay? The blessings that you'll get that Lex talked about for learning Ibaryath. And then I do the reading of the blessings in Ibaryath. So I'll actually read it and you can hear what it sounds like. So then we go into what is Ibaryath, right? And that's going to give you an idea as to what is modern Hebrew, because we need to know what is modern Hebrew and its phases of rollout, right? There were three phases of it rather. So we go into that. So you'll know exactly what it is because it is not ours, right? That's modern Hebrew stuff. Okay, so then I go into a lesson about why they deceived us, why you, in my opinion, why you must become Ibaryath literate, right? Why you must. And then I take you through the inscriptions that you would see in the museums that Lex just talked about. And I actually show you what those pictographs are on the inscription. So these are like coins, the Decalogue stone, all of these different artifacts that are available in museums. I actually show you and teach you how to recognize the different pictographs, okay, that are on there. And then I go through the changes that were made from our language. So as creation was made in Ibaryath, right? And then as it progressed all the way up into the point where it was ended and modern Hebrew began. Okay, so I take you through that process. See here. So overview of modern Hebrew. And then I go through the Greek versus, or the Hebrew versus Greek paradigm. This was a very fun part, actually a very important part of learning our language, because this has to do with our paradigm, the way we see the world, the way we interact with the world, how we perceive it, how we interact. So when we talk about concrete versus abstract, this is what we're talking about. So I introduce these and I give very specific examples of verses, Bible verses, Hebrew scripture verses, where I teach you how to go from abstract to the concrete. I teach you how to do it, how to recognize it, and everything else. This is actually critical. Easy to learn, easy to understand, but critical information. Part two, we go into everything about each of the 22 pictographs. So you see there's a first pictograph, and then the first pictograph vocabulary words. We do the same format from 1 to pictograph 22. So when we talk about the first pictograph, it's the pictograph, its meaning, its symbology, its cultural context, and that pictograph's use in grammar, how it's used in grammar. So this is phenomenal. So I added more in this. I didn't talk about, like in that in the 8-week course, I didn't talk about the pictographs use in grammar. In these lessons, I talk about the pictographs usage in grammar. Okay, so I'm going to skip down from this because everything follows the same format that I just discussed in here. Now remember, they have vocabulary words. So you'll get 225 vocabulary words throughout this entire lesson, organized alphabetically. So let me go to, okay, so now these are the word studies. These are the word studies where you actually apply what you learn in these lessons. The pictograph, meaning, symbology, and all of that stuff, cultural context. So you actually, and maybe I can show something after I go through this. So we do a word study where we look at the pictographs that make up a word. And then we look at the meaning that they represent and how that adds new meaning or let's say hidden meaning. So these word studies will help you to learn how to unlock the hidden meaning in words that you would not get in a lexicon, right? This is why culture is so important. Now, what else does it help you do? It helps you to not only understand the meaning of the word, but also it gives you a better understanding of the verse. Now that helps in regards to syntax or sentence structure, the placement or the position of words in a sentence and how they create meaning. All that's governed by grammar rules, but that's something else. But this is extremely helpful. And I show some excellent, maybe I'll show one. I show some excellent word studies in here, Lex.
Right on.
I show some excellent word studies. When I finished it, I was like, wow, you know, I was like, I can't believe I did that, you know.
All praise the Most High. See, there's nothing, see, there's nothing wrong with making something good and knowing it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Thanks, thanks, thanks. So there you see, there's a lot of word studies, right? There's a lot of word studies. And now part 3 is grammar. And most of our people, we were denied a competent knowledge of grammar when we went to school. But I teach this course, this grammar section, I make it very easy. It's not difficult at all. So don't be afraid or intimidated by learning grammar. I really make it easy. So we go through the whole concept of the parent root or the Hebrew root word system. I call it the Ibaryath root word system. So we go through parent roots, child roots, adopted roots. Everybody should remember this from the 8-week course. And I go into depth. Because this is a self-study course, I was able to add more information here, much more information here. So then I go into how the words are formed. Technically, it's called morphology, word morphology. Okay, so that's 4 parts. And then we go into the verbs. Our language, there are more verbs than nouns. Okay, so the Ibaryath root word system is really speaking to verbs and how verbs are made. So all of this information is here. And then we get into parts of speech and stuff like that. So we do the definite article and conjunctions, pronouns, prepositions, adverbs, direct object marker, and negation. Okay, so this is a heavy course. If you add all of this up, it's 113 lessons. I teach the lessons in a very enthusiastic way. You're not going to get bored. I guarantee you that. And for $1, and you get to take as many of these as you want, and then you can make a decision whether or not you want to subscribe for only $10. For me, this is just incredible. You know.
You know what's incredible, man?
Huh?
You want to know what is incredible?
What's that?
I got a text from Miss Kennedy, and she said, hiya, thank you. Free is ignored and taken advantage of. People are listening right now, man.
Excellent. Excellent. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
It's power, man.
So let me see let me open this up. I don't know which one this is.
From any of the commandments I give you today.
Oh, this is a reading, so I'm not going to go through that one. Let me see. Let me see if I can find something fun. I did this this lesson on twisting the oak. There's this lesson on I think it's Psalms 92, talks about the Most High twist the oak. Oh, this is a heavy one. Actually, this is a heavy one. I don't know if I should show this one because I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give this one away. Oh, yeah, y'all. So you see in this Ibaryath word study, we're dealing with this deity Odin. Okay, Odin. So my question to the audience is, what biblical word, when you do a word study, can you come up with these deities? Now, remember, we're talking about Ibaryath in English, right? We're looking at the etymology of Ibaryath, and then we look at what's in English. And I'm telling everybody, get this video so you can see it yourself. There is a reference to Odin, but it's hidden. It's hidden. And of course, other deities too. But this is the kind of things you can find out when you take this course. You can find a lot of things out that are in front of your face, but you're just not aware of it.
Hold on. Can you briefly explain this? See, because See, this puts us in categories. This actually puts me and you in a category. Most people don't see the other gods in the Bible. Most people have no idea that what the scribes did was they wrote out the pagan gods to hide them from the reader. So this is actually very interesting because it shows, like I just stated, what they did to us.
That's right. That's right. Because we're not supposed to have these other deities. We're not even supposed to speak their names. So they get us to invoke these deities without us even knowing. So, but when people go through this course, when they go through the course, they will see all of this stuff. You know, the Egyptian deity connection. It's just so much. I mean, it's just so much. This particular study is an eye opener, a big eye opener. Let me see, which one was that? So let me look. Oh, so let's look at. I don't know what this are, but I particularly like these word studies because you really never know what you're gonna discover when you do these things. Let's see, what can we get here? And then I'll show one of the pictographs. But I won't.
Immortal being with superior power.
Oh,
Okay, so this
okay.
is where the capital.
So this is a word study where we're looking at God, capital God. Okay, and then we go into a breakdown of it. So y'all come do the $1 trial because I don't want to give it away. I just want to just let you see something, okay? Let me see what else. But I don't want to give the whole thing away for these word studies. But I will show a video on one of the pictographs.
Every time.
Here's another one of Odin, right? Now there are others, but this one is prominent because we live in the West, right? We're ruled by these troglodyte nigger heathens. So this is their deity hidden in scripture, okay? That most of us are invoking, calling on, okay, without even knowing it. So let me go back.
Because this is what they call the Sky Father. Now, their Sky Father isn't necessarily what you call the Creator.
And that, you know, Lex, I think that's something people have a hard time getting their mind around, you know? Have a hard time getting their mind around that.
Can't help that. You know, the easiest way I can say this is, you know, a lot of people choose not to see the obvious. If there's obviously a problem, then you can go further into it and figure out what the problem is, unless you choose not to. That's what so many people make videos off of, whether they're honest or not. You know, I want to explain something to you from my perspective. That's not what they're saying. They're saying, I want to tell you the truth. It's not the truth, it's their truth. All these Christians tell you, oh, Jesus this, Jesus that. But if you actually read the book, he is given an assignment to witness.
Yeah.
He's King of Kings, of the dead kings, not King of Kings of the kings that created. So, again, different minds will witness the different levels. And I'm sorry to say it, it's a pyramid. And when you think like an idiot or ignorantly, they call that a base mind, right? The foundation of stuff is called the base. When you get to the peak, right? I'm on cloud 9. I think this way. You've got to understand. As you start learning stuff, you go up in what? Mentality. And this is what people don't want to except you are in a system that gives you a picture of a pyramid without the cap. If the pyramid is actually knowledge, what are they telling you? You cannot know what's at the top. You cannot know what's at the pinnacle. So again, even in Egypt, there's more than one pyramid. So there's righteousness and there's wickedness. Which pyramid do you want to climb? Look at our society. Everyone promotes wickedness, lust, sex, destruction of man, destruction of woman. Woman doesn't want to take her role. Man doesn't want to take his responsibility. So we've all fallen apart. And this is what they gave to us to keep us in a dysfunctional state, so we cannot achieve our needs, but we can achieve our wants. So this is really amazing how they've taught us to be wicked, but we were promised that. So the most important thing I can say here is it's not the only promise that we got. And if we choose to root in base mentality, we will not climb this ladder of knowledge and become anything more than heathens like we were promised, because our ancestors rejected the truth. What is he telling you? I have a way to teach you the truth. Up until the council of Hephaestus, the crust of the earth was Serapis. The various councils were held due to the dispute. God damn it, people knew it was a lie. The dispute among various factions of the Melkite, Coptic, Egyptian Christians. Who are the Coptic people? We just covered this, ladies and gentlemen. Who is Serapis Crustus? We just covered this, ladies and gentlemen. We spent a half a year dwelling in this information for you to know the truth is kept from you. And you just want half of it, half that somebody else can prove. Why not take the whole freaking pie? You are. Yes, Sharon, it is yours. Your blood is talked about all the time, whether they're spilling it or claiming to be you. You need to decide. Am I a happy heathen? Then you shouldn't have any problem hearing the word fucking. Or am I aiming for righteousness, for my nobility? Here's what you forgot. You were the noble Israelite knocked off your perch. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Do you want it back? The muscle of Egypt, the Coptic, accept our God or die. How many times I tell you, any fool can look at the Egyptian Trinity to the Christian Trinity. The Egyptian Christ, Horus. To what? To Ptolemy coming and bringing Serapis Christus and say, worship this goddamn image now or die. How is that any different than what the Catholics, the Latins came with? You come, you go to, you've learned now the Latin cross is your idol, the T. Mr. Cross? Why does he call himself Mr. T? Wake up. Everybody is playing you. You are a fiddle, truly a harp. You're out of tune. But detuned, you can make some funky stuff too. And they want to argue, oh, you should be in 432, but they have you in 440. What difference does it make? What frequency you're in? Righteousness is righteousness. Pissing outdoors is pissing outdoors. Pissing indoors is pissing indoors. The titles that you have for shit is enough for you to see the correct direction. But you're brainwashed every day to worship the erection. Viagra will not inflate your brain. Go ahead, man.
Hey, you want to continue with the reading? I kind of enjoyed that, man.
Sure, man. Yeah, right. Dispute among the various factions of Egypt, Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt, right? The muscle of Egypt, the priests of Egypt, and of course, the hierarchy. Who is in control and who wants to take control? And they're doing what? They're arguing over what? So rapists. So again, you already know the Greeks are involved because Ptolemy brought Serapis. So they continued. Some Melkite Coptics were in opposition to the Serapis, and continued to worship God the Father as Osiris. So they took your creator and they placed their image of what? Chopped into 13 pieces? Chopped into 13 pieces. Right? Now you get your heavenly father who's Osiris, and now all of a sudden you get a heavenly mother that's what? Is. And her is troops going into all these poor territories to start war so they can bring the what? The superior nations. Take a look at the Philippines, how they can't defend themselves. But the Filipino president said, we've killed a lot of ISIS members, at least 5 Caucasians in the Philippines trying to push ISIS shit. You don't know your enemy because your enemy is in another land, being himself. And when he's over here, he's set up with the customs that you love to hear, white and black, 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 I'm black, 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 I'm black, black, right? Wake up, people. Where's your black in this Bible? To the black, I give this, there's no prophecy to the black. Does not say white oppressors. It says these nations work together to practice oppression. The mother as is, and the son, this is your Egyptian trinity that you do not accept, right? The Father, the Son, and so that means is must be the Holy Spirit. When you read this book in Hebrew, it says the Holy Spirit is righteous anger. Now, let us measure the values of these. The Holy Spirit is righteous anger. You are oppressed. Or is the Holy Spirit some woman that your oppressor keeps saying they are part of what? The group of her that kill people? I don't understand. I don't. If you put all these blockades and everything else on these countries, how do these people get weapons in the country? How come every time we see ISIS, there's a bunch of Arab people led by a white man? The white man get caught, get killed, and whoop, just like another dandelion, out comes another one. Help me to understand this. Because I don't. They call themselves European, but in the books they say it's Indo. They taught you nothing but lies. You want the truth? Starts with a book. You want the truth in the book? You're going to need 15 other books, or you just need yourself. Start with the Old Testament, as he shows you. While another faction of Melkite Coptics worship the Serapis created deity. Now look at that. Their argument is today's argument. Half of the Black Egyptians said, we'll accept the foreigner's God. Half of the Black Egyptians said, this has nothing to do with us. We're going to keep on worshiping our Trinity. Same religion, different aspects. Two nations. Isn't this easy to look at? When it's Egypt and Greece, it's not Israel in this country. It's not the Israelites in this country. It's not the Hebrews in this nation. It's easy when you're looking at somebody else face off on it. Then what is it all about? Christianity, control of the people. Well, why? Because how much money comes from lies? I teach the truth and I'm broke. I get it. I taught you. Con men sit in pulpits looking good. You see the gold watch hidden under his sleeve. He is so well off. Teaching you lies. Teaching you rituals. Well, why are they well off? Because they're part of hidden groups that do what? They donate to each other. They support each other. You're a Hebrew and I'm a Hebrew. Y'all won't even support each other. You're Hebrew and he's Hebrew and they're Hebrews. Y'all won't even support each other. Half of your Hebrews gave themselves away. The other half sit in the dark and they cannot come together in the light. The Oriental, you are told, they'll poison you. Yet they walk free everywhere. Nobody say shit. They got their clock, they tick-tock clock, and they say, you say, you won't support us? I'll say, you can't even write your byword in the title. Yeah. They can write anything, but you can't. Your oppression ends when you go back to the law. You heard the man. You can't go back as an individual. You're a freaking heathen by the law now. You, me, we. That is where we are in the law. Trust me, I tried to get you to come together and be one for a Passover. You fought. Did we have a Passover the next year? No. The next year? No. Why? You have to ask yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 2,000 people that watch everything that's said. I might have 100 donors. It's 1,900 people surely that care, but don't give a fuck. That doesn't make sense. You can't fill your fucking lantern if your people won't back you. They're looking for smooth talkers. It's in the scripture. I done seen it myself. I don't talk smooth. And if you got to learn your old language, that don't go smooth either. Don't be a coward, people. You only have so many opportunities to the end. And when somebody says something in Hebrew in front of you that look like you, and you can't respond correctly, why would they want to put any effort in you when they know everything you say in front of the Gentile will hear? Yet the Gentile can go to his root language right in front of you and say, kill this nigga, and you wouldn't know the difference. You're not fair. You, the individual, you want more, and you want it to be physical. It's not. It's mental. It's self. What is the law? The law is control of your own body. How to control it under these circumstances and these circumstances. You want to deny yourself? Then deny yourself. Eventually, Serapis, the Crustus, was transformed into Jesus the Crustus at the Council of Hephaestus. And the mother was transformed into what? At the Council of Chalcedon. And we listed the councils, right? 8, 10 videos ago, we listed the councils. From the Council of Nicaea to the Council of Chalcedon. And she was made into Mary. And what were the Greeks? Black. And what were the Egyptians? Black. So why do they worship the black Isis? Because they were black nations that did this. Now the Egyptians punished, and the Greek hid himself so that he can what? Magnify himself in the what? The homes of Shem. Everybody, let me be very romantic of this. When you see Whitney Houston, does she have an afro? Has she ever had an afro? She's a Greek. And you don't know it because you're too cool with people burning their scalp, relaxing their hair, adjusting their image to the oppressor's image. Because you don't want to believe that people look like you oppress you. Well, it's now time for me to separate with your beliefs. And I'll be with truth. Shalom.
Hey, Lex, that was excellent. That was excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed that, man.
Just speaking from
I gotta learn from you.
Created primarily.
Here's their guide. Here's their guide. So the images all through here of these deities. I put the images, so this is their Osiris.
A combination of.
Yeah, this is their Osiris. When they talk about the Father in their Trinity. And Lex, I want to point this out. People sometimes they may not realize this. You see his color, like you said, is black.
yeah.
That's why the Trinity, they never show an image of the Father, right? They don't want that to show. They don't want the black to show.
For two reasons. If you'll know they're talking about a man, and that's his family. And of course, the reason you stated, white people won't worship a black god.
Yeah.
They have no connection to the image.
There's so much in this word study. These are just a few things. The word study is on creator. And you can see how its meaning has been altered. Okay, been altered. So that's the really incredible thing about doing these word studies, man. You just never know what you're going to come up with because they have done so much. I mean, they've scientifically done all of these things to keep us in the curses. So how about, Lex, if I go through the first pictograph? It's just a few minutes, and that way people can see. You got time?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Wrap it up.
Okay. Thank you. So let's go ahead and open that up. This is the first pictograph. Okay. So when it loads up, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and play it, and I'll be silent. Let's see. Let's get it started.
To orient you to the page, we have 5 questions. I want you, scholar, to have these questions in your mind, so as we go through the lesson, you're able to focus on finding the answer to these questions. Okay, there are 5 questions. Okay, answer the following questions related to this pictograph. 1. What is the origin of its name? What is the origin of this pictograph's name? 2. Which Ibaryath letter or which Ibaryath pictograph is it? In other words, which pictograph does this object, this animal, which is in English we call it an American bison, right? Which Ibaryath pictograph does it represent? Question number 3. What is the pronunciation or what is the sound of the letter? We just went through that, right? That should be obvious. What is the meaning of this pictograph? What is the meaning of this pictograph? And what is its English letter equivalent? So the last question, question number 5, is what is this pictograph's English letter equivalent? First, let's look at some observations about this animal here. First, notice it has black woolly hair on the top. Looks like an afro, doesn't it? It has black woolly hair. It has an afro. That's the prominent thing. What else is prominent? It also has a mane. Take a look. It has a mane, just like the lion has a mane. See, it has a mane. This is a very majestic creature, isn't it? What else stands out? Look at its horns. Its horns are very, very symmetric, right? Very, very symmetrical. Okay, they're not huge and everywhere. They're very, very symmetrical. Okay. What else do we notice? It has a beard. Y'all, can y'all see that with the cursive? It has a beard. Okay. What else can we see? Kind of has a big nose, right? Kind of has a wide nose. What else do you see about this object when we look at its body other than its mane, its majestic masculine mane? Well, first we see that its shoulders are huge, right? The shoulders are huge. This animal, I've read, stands the shoulders at the tip of the shoulder can stand anywhere between 7 to 9 feet. Look at the shape, the muscular structure of this animal. It looks very powerful, doesn't it? It looks extremely powerful. What else can we observe? Its color. Its color looks like our color, doesn't it? Like a cinnamon brown. Okay, it looks like a cinnamon brown. Or
No. Black people just say that's black.
Right color. It has woolly hair and it has an afro and a beard and a wide nose. Okay, so let's get into it. These are, and I'm sure you can, with yourself or with your loved one or your children, you can make more observations about this animal, and you'll see why as we get into the lesson. Okay, so let's go on to our next slide. Also take note. What is the name of this animal? You see it here, right? You see it here. Alapa, 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 alapa. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Here we are, another inscription. So this is pictograph and we see in the inscription. We see here in the inscription, and we see also here in the inscription. Where else do we see that? Okay, so right now I only see here and here. So what I would like for you, scholar, to do on your own time when you review this lesson, I would like for you to go through every pictograph and find it on each of the inscriptions. descriptions. This will help you gain sight recognition of the pictographs. Okay, so now let's move on to the next slide. Here we are. The pictograph or the Ibaryath letter This is where we are at the top. Follow the cursor. Ibaryath letter pictograph How is it pronounced? Well, this was quite easy, right? As in or What is the origin? Now remember, these are the answers to the 5 questions that we reviewed at the opening of this lesson. So what is the origin of comes from the Ibaryath word alapa. Here's the pronunciation. Alapa. Comes from the Ibaryath word alapa, which means oxen or cattle. What is the pictograph symbol? We saw it. Let's go back and look at it again. This is the symbol, right? Symbol, symbolic, symbolism. This is the symbol, the object that we're considering. Okay, so what is the symbol? It's the symbol of an ox head. It is the symbol of an ox head. All right, now here you can see that better here. Look at the ancient. And you see the ox head in ancient, but when it goes to Paleo, it looks like an English letter A turned over on its side, right? It looks like the letter A turned over on its side. This helps us, this is a good segue into discussing a memorization technique so that you can remember these 2 pictographs more easily. So, for example, I'm going to give you something. This is just a memorization technique. This is not a fact. It's a memorization technique, okay? But the 2 are parallel. They're very good techniques. So here, you can imagine the ancient script Let's say this is the beginning when our ancestors were doing everything right. We did everything right. But over time, we began to stop following the Most High's instructions. We began to disrespect Him as a nation. Individuals in our families, they just stopped following His instructions, right? And if you consider that, our deviation away from the Most High's instructions, you can also relate that to what? The change in the way the pictograph is written, right? Relate that to change the way the pictograph is written. And in your own imagination, you can imagine the lines in the ancient pictograph moving. You can make a mental movie, a cartoon of the lines moving until they form the letter A, okay? Upside down or turned on its side. The letter A in English turned on its side. So imagine a mental movie of the ancient Ibaryath symbol here becoming the Paleo symbol here. Just make a mental movie of it. And now, once you do that, you can link this information to your mental movie. Very easy, right? Very, very easy. It takes practice and discipline. You have to be willing to do it. I am your professor, your instructor. I'm instructing you to do it. It will work for you, although it might be uncomfortable or it might seem silly or like nonsense to you. Allow yourself to be taught and do it. And you'll see that you get very, very excellent. You get outstanding results. If you do what I'm asking you to do as your professor, as your instructor. Now let's look at the pictograph meaning. This pictograph meaning is ox head, as we just discussed. Crown, this afro is his crown. Okay, what do we also see amongst royalty and history? They'll often have what? They'll have the horns coming out of their crown, just like we saw with the bison. Okay, they'll have those horns coming out of their crown. So crown, you can look at the crown as being his afro or his horns or both. It's up to you how you choose to work this into your mental movie so that you can remember. Power. leader, strength, chief, yoke, learn, teach. And I would add, my personal opinion would be majesty, masculinity, manliness, right? Majesty, manliness, masculinity. Let's take another look at it. See, it has the name, right? Majesty, royalty, okay? You see its physical structure, its physique, and power, right? Power, majesty, its crown, its afro, its woolly hair, its horn, its crown, okay? So develop your mental movement using this information. All right, so now let's get back to it. Okay, a couple more slides here. Let's get into the cultural context. The ox or the bison was used to do agricultural work, plowing fields, and whatever it had to do with harvesting and growing crops, right? Preparing the soil, all of that. Also for commerce, we would use it to transport goods. And we transported goods, commerce, transportation. Okay. Next, we see here, this is quite significant. The elder oxen or the older oxen, right? The older ox was yoked to a younger ox. Why? To lead that younger ox, to train that younger ox, and to guide the younger ox. Why is that? Because as that elder ox was once also trained by an older ox, so that the ox learns how to perform the task needed for commerce and agriculture. So there was an apprenticeship or a training process, right? The elder oxen was yoked to a younger oxen to lead it, train it, and guide it. Now, I have a question for you. What would happen if that younger ox would try to go its own way? What would happen? It would experience some pain, right? Because the older ox is bigger and stronger and even more determined, right? So it would be pulled by its neck. Because remember, the yoke is at the neck. It would be pulled by its neck. It would experience pain, and then therefore it would have to do what? It would have to surrender and follow the elder ox. Okay, that was the training process. Now let's look at our next bullet point. Fathers are yoked by contract. So this would be the Mosaic covenant, right? Fathers are yoked by contract to their women, not wives. Not wives. That's a Greco-Roman thing. Fathers were yoked by contract to their women and their seed to protect, lead, guide, and train them.
Okay, so Lex, is it okay if we stop here and wrap it up?
That's pretty good because, you know, you don't want to give them the whole lesson, right? Don't want to give away the whole lesson, right? Yusuf, can you hear me? All right. His computer shut down. Pause for a minute. See if he can get back on. Hey, you there?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let me just plug you into the computer. 1 second. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Good.
I hear you.
I hear you too. All right. So, ladies and
Okay, sorry
gentlemen,
about that.
go ahead.
My computer shut down. I apologize for that. It just turned off. I'm trying to reboot it now. Lex, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. So,
Are we still live or?
oh shit. No, I didn't hit the record button. Hold on. I wasn't live. I was just recording. Hold on.
Oh, okay, okay.
3, 2, and all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Yusafa had a malfunction with his computer. Go ahead, Yus.
Okay, yeah, Lex, sorry about that, man. My computer shut down. But I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share this time with you and your audience. And I mean, I just can't say how thankful I am for you always being there since I started to support the work that I've been doing.
Blah, blah, blah.
So
Most
thank
high,
you.
most high. No, I appreciate you having something to offer your people. You can't beat that. In a society that takes everything away from them, you know, you have something to offer them. You know, like Miss Kennedy said, people take advantage of free shit. So I hope people take the time to respect what you're offering. You know, I know people have taken it before. It's a whole different format, easier for everybody. I mean, it's if you don't want it, then don't get mad when you meet people in the future and they got rules. Don't get mad when people say, oh, I knew there was plenty of black people that were against black people, so I don't accept black people just because they look black. They have to have something more to show me that they are Hebrew. So, you know, don't get mad if somebody that you do not know done created rules that you don't know about, that when you try to escape and you run into these people, they're like, well, you don't have anything to offer on the level that we have or are accepting. You know, there's no guarantee somebody needs another water carrier. You don't have skills from society. You can't do electronics. You can't be an electrician. You know, you complain you don't want to wash clothes. You're going from society back into the forest. You better figure this out.
Yeah. So I hope everyone learned something, and I hope that you enjoyed this this video that we did together. And I'm looking forward to being able to serve you with the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course. And of course, if you want to come to our Saturday 9 a.m. class, the Curses course, you're welcome to come, and I hope to see you there. The link is on my YouTube channel, Zion Law School. Zion Law School. The self-study course is on our website, zionlawschool.org. But you can get both links for the course, for the self-study course, and for the live Saturday 9 a.m. course on our YouTube channel, zionlawschool.org. Just click on any of the recent videos, and you'll see a link to each one of them. Okay. So that's all I got, Lex, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, Yusafa. Dr. Yusafa.
Oh, thank you too. Thank you too. I appreciate it. Shalom,